He walking on the edge of the bow, and that's why the Buddha disciple that the Buddha name is right like King Buddha, and the words the Buddha land name is the right like word, right? So the monk and the disciple of the Buddha, he said that, oh, look like there is an insect walking on our bow, the edge of the bow, but it looked like a human. It's where the sack look like us, right? And the Buddha says, no, 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 don't say that, don't say that. That is the Mahagandana. He the left hand side, left hand disciple of the Sakyamuni Buddha in the in the east. Um, and he
Sorry, I don't understand.
okay, he the one he the foremost in psychic power, and that's why the Buddha called Mahayana to for perform his psychic power. Rely on the Sakyamuni Buddha, he be able to perform the fire power here, appear in the sky at how high? Million, hundred of million feet high in sky, and he make the precious bed, many jewel pearl decorated, and he sit crossing leg on the bed, and he emit all kind of light, right? Well, and they wonder why he here, and the Buddha said that because he want to test the Buddha sound. That means Sakyamuni Buddha sound. And the Buddha said that if you want to test, that is the wrong thing to do, because the Buddha sound is infinity. There is no limit. Yet when he got there, he be able to still be able to hear the Buddha sound that's like in front of him. And you know what? Well, let me make it short. Okay. Then now, do you know how to get back to your homeland? No, I did not know how to get back because I don't know how to get back because I get lost. Okay. Now, you know what country or what homeland it's which home country it's which direction of your home country? I don't know where which direction the Buddha said it's in the east. And do you think that you'll be able to fly by yourself with your own supernatural power? Don't think like that. This is Sakyamuni Buddha who empower you to be able to fly this. And do you think you can be able to use your own power to go back to your home country? If you do, you have to spend the entire life to do that. By the time when you get back, Sakyamuni Buddha already entered into Nirvana. Yeah. And but if you pay homage to Sakyamuni Buddha and bow to him, and he will bring you back. Okay, yes, make it short. And Sakyamuni Buddha emit the light throughout 99 gain world to reach the right light world. And that's how he rely on the Sakyamuni Buddha light, and instantly he appeared into the Vulture Peak Mountain. Instantly. So the question here is, the void, right? The Buddhist sound, the void. Which body do you think it come from?
The Dharmakaya.
I think the Dhammakaya, right? the Dhamma body, because the Dhamma body is everywhere.
It makes me think of quantum entanglement.
Huh? What?
It makes me think of quantum entanglement.
Oh, quantum entanglement.
Mhm.
What does that mean?
It's a property that occurs on a quantum level,
Mhm.
like involving the spin direction of electrons. Like the electrons can either have an upspin or a downspin. And if these electrons have been associated in some way, like one way is say, there's a crystal, and if you break this crystal apart, and then you take one part of the crystal and you can travel as far away as you want. And basically, if you determine the spin of the electrons in one end of that crystal, the other end, the electrons will immediately line up to the same spin.
Yeah, I
And
heard
so,
that too.
the communication without space-time, it's like it's kind of suggesting that the way we think about space-time is not how it actually works.
Interesting. That's interesting, right? It is same thing. Well, nowadays we have for phone, right? We can call. Doesn't matter where you are in the on this world, right? In this world, as long as you have the satellite, right? Connect to
Sim
it.
Similar, but it still depends on like
Right.
the speed of light. This would be faster than the speed of light because
Right. That's right. That's true.
like if he went so many world systems away that if it was like actual sound, well, the sound would take forever to travel there. He'd have to wait,
Right.
like he'd have to wait so incredibly long that it has to be arriving there immediately, instantaneously. Otherwise, it would take
But
forever.
the speed of sound is only at 720 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's incredibly. Yeah, there's no way it would reach Mount Galileana before he died. So it'd have to be different,
So so the Buddha power is unbelievable. And I told them that the Bodhisattva they have to practice this 3 times of the lifetime like this. 3 times 10 to the 140 power of 140.
They practice what that many times?
To the practice the Bodhisattva path.
Oh, okay.
To
For that
perfect
many lifetimes.
the 6 parameter.
Yeah, that's a lot of lifetimes.
In order for them to attend the Buddhahood.
Yeah, I don't know the name for that number.
Okay, anyway, all right, let's go back to our lesson today. Go ahead and do this.
Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay. We last time I think we finished the chapter 16 about the Brahma conduct, right?
That sounds right.
Okay. Yeah, the Brahma conduct. You learn about the conduct of the mind, the mouth, and the body, right? And learn about the non-existent and non-existent, laughing and not laughing, all those things. Form is not form, feeling is not feeling. Okay. Anyway, now we go to 17. I think we learned before, right, about 17. But briefly, go ahead and and do a little bit about 17. Okay, go ahead.
Merit and virtue from first bringing forth the mind. At that time, the heavenly ruler Shakra asked Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva, disciple of the Buddha, what is the measure of the merit and virtue attained when a bodhisattva first brings forth the Bodhi mind? Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva said, this principle is deep and profound. It is difficult to express and to know. It is difficult to discriminate and difficult to believe and understand. It is difficult to be certified to it and difficult to practice. It is difficult to penetrate and difficult to consider. It is difficult to measure and difficult to enter. Although this is the case, I have received the Buddha's awesome spiritual power and will explain this for you. Disciple of the Buddha, suppose there is a person who uses all kinds of musical instruments to make offerings to all the living beings in Asamkhaya world systems in the East, doing so for 1 kalpa, and afterwards he teaches those living beings to purely uphold the 5 precepts. Then he does the same in the south, west, north, the intermediate directions above and below. Disciple of the Buddha, what is your opinion? Does this person have much merit and virtue? The heavenly ruler Shakra said, disciple of the Buddha, only the Buddha can know this person's merit and virtue. All others are unable to fathom it. Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva said, disciple of the Buddha, this person's merit and virtue, when compared with the merit and virtue of the Bodhisattva who has first brought forth the mind, does not equal 100th part of it, nor 1,000th part of it, nor 100,000th part, and so forth up to the point that it does not equal 100,000,000th part, nor 1,000,000,000th part, nor 100,000,000,000th part, nor 1,000,000,000,000th part, nor a Nayuta 100,000,000th part, nor 1,000,000,000th Nayuta part, nor 100,000,000,000th Nayuta part, nor 1,000,000,000th Nayuta part, nor a numerable part, nor a kilantth part, nor a calculable part, nor an analogical part, nor even a part in an Upanishad part. It does not reach even the smallest part.
Okay, good. Stop right there.
Yes, we have read this one, I feel like a few times.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And so this is speaking to the merit of bringing forth the Bodhi mind, this mind of radical compassion. And that in an effort to help us understand how beneficial it is, there's this analogy that's given. And I think it makes sense that we need to understand it, because it seems like just bringing forth the idea of it seems like that's even before taking any action from it. So it'd be understandable to think someone could be like, oh, that's not important. What's really important is, once you start taking the actions. But even just bringing forth the idea is incredibly important, like more merit than all those, that amazing offering of all the musical instruments, the songs for so long, so many people, and then teaching them to hold the 5 precepts. Like that's a huge achievement. So it's important for us to know that even just bringing forth the resolve is important, because I think it's kind of like planting a seed. If you want to grow a big tree, planting a seed is incredibly important. You could do all of these other things, but if you don't plant that seed, you're not going to grow the tree. So I think that's sort of like what it's pointing at, is that bringing forth the Bodhi mind is like you're planting the seed for your future Buddhahood.
Okay.
And for others too.
Okay. Before we can we talk about it this few times, but I will give you a different analogy. So that will give us more deep into it. So let's read more. Okay, a few more, then we start.
Disciple of the Buddha, moreover, putting this analogy aside, suppose there is a person who uses all kinds of musical instruments to make offerings to all the living beings in 10 Asamkhaya world systems in the 10 directions for 100 kalpas, and afterwards he teaches those living beings to cultivate the 10 paths of good. Making offerings in the same way for 1,000 kalpas, he then teaches them to dwell in the full jhana. After passing through 100,000 kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the 4 unlimited minds. Hey, stop it. Stop it. Passing through 100 million kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the four formless samadhis. Then after passing through 1 billion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Srotapana fruit. Then after passing through 100 billion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Sakardagamin fruit. Then after passing through 1 trillion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Anagamin fruit. Then after passing through 100 Nayuta million kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Arhat fruit. Then after passing through 100,000 trillion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the path of a Pratyeka Buddha. Disciple of the Buddha, what is your opinion? Isn't this person's merit and virtue a lot? The heavenly ruler said, disciple of the Buddha, only the Buddha can know this person's merit and virtue. Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva said, disciple of the Buddha, this person's merit and virtue, compared with the merit and virtue of a bodhisattva who has first brought forth the mind, does not come up to 100th part, nor 1,000th part, nor 100,000th part, up to and including not one part in an Upanishad. Why is this? Disciple of the Buddha. When the Buddhas first bring forth the mind, they do not do so merely for the sake of making offerings of all kinds of musical instruments to all the living beings in the Asamkhaya world systems in the 10 directions, doing so for 100 kalpas up to and including 100,000 Nayuta million kalpas. They do not bring forth the Bodhi mind merely to teach all of those living beings to cultivate the 5 precepts, the 10 paths of good karma, or to teach them to dwell in the 4 jhanas, the 4 unlimited minds, the 4 formless concentrations, or to teach them to attain the Srotapana fruit, the Sakardagamin fruit, the Anagamin fruit, the Arhat fruit, or the Pratyeka Buddha path. But it is for the sake of causing the seed nature of the thus come ones to never be cut off. It is for the sake of pervading all world systems. It is for the sake of crossing over and liberating the living beings in all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the coming into being and destruction of all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the defilement and purity of living beings within all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the purity of the self-nature of all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the likes, afflictions, and habits in the minds of all living beings. It is for the sake of totally knowing how all living beings die here, are reborn elsewhere. It is for the sake of totally knowing all living beings' roots and expedient methods.
Good, that's good.
So here the comparison is made more intense. So instead of comparing the previous level of with the music and all the world systems and all the kalpas, but now it's the music and like for a longer time and more world systems, and then teaching even more. So not just the 5 precepts, but the 10 good paths, the 4 unlimited minds, and so forth. So it's increasing the amount that the individual is doing in this comparison.
What is the highest state?
The highest state
Mhm.
with Buddhahood.
No, in this example,
Oh,
Pacceka Buddha.
Pratyeka Buddha. Yeah.
Yeah, Pacceka Buddha. But not Bodhisattva, right? They stop right there.
Right. Yes.
Why they stop right there, but they don't go forward?
Well, if they were teaching people the Bodhisattva way, then it would be hard to make this comparison, because it would have blurry margins between the 2 scenarios, because it has to be a scenario where the individual hasn't yet brought forth the Bodhi mind.
Okay. Bodhisattva, that means the Bodhi mind, right? The one who practice Bodhisattva is the one who generate the Bodhi mind or bodhicitta. But the one who even include Arahat or Pacceka Buddha, they are not have the bodhicitta in the way of the Bodhisattva. So yes, they even though they reach that high, a person can be able to help many people attain the certain state of the good roots, right? The first 4 state of Arahat and up to Pacceka Buddha, and that he did a lot of good thing, right? Helped so many people. But when compared to the Bodhisattva who went for the the body mind, right? The bodhicitta, it's uncomparable. Why the bodhicitta mind is so important in this case? So what is the bodhicitta mind actually is?
It's the individual awakening to the Buddha nature.
Uh-huh. Or you can also say that the bodhicitta mind is the mind of wishing to benefit living being due to the motivation of the loving kindness and compassion. Um, so when the person have that mindset, is that easy to have that mindset?
No, not without cultivation.
A common people like us, don't you think they be able to have that mindset?
I think on a certain level, we can have that mindset, but not with the profound depth of the bodhisattvas.
Yeah.
Like we all have my limits are going to be a lot, you're going to see them a lot sooner than you see a bodhisattva's limits.
Without learning the Mahayana Sutra, especially the Adornment Flower Sutra like this, don't you think is that easy? Without understanding, it's easy to have the bodhicitta mind.
No, I think it's kind of like a little bit like a log floating downstream. If someone was trying to discover like the ultimate way, they may, like, imagine they're that log, they may float into the open ocean and like realize, maybe become a Pratyeka Buddha, or maybe even come across the idea of bodhicitta that could even be born in their minds, like in the Buddha's past life.
Actually, the Arahat or Pratyeka Buddha, they do also have the bodhicitta, but the bodhicitta in the way of that level.
Mhm. So I think it's very likely that that log gets stuck on the side of the river, where it flows to a certain point, but then if without the teachings to guide the mind, it's just easy to get stuck on something, to get attached, to misunderstand something, to become, have craving or anger or whatever. So yeah, it's not easy without the teachings, and even with the teachings, it takes great diligence.
So I remember when I listened to the compassion, the row of compassion row, that means just like the garden, right? The compassion row, they call compassion row, that um that means the bodhisattva, so many, just like in the row in the garden, they have so many flowers, right? The flower here, it represents for the compassion. That means all the bodhisattva in that sutra, it's really compassionate. Why? Because the Sakyamuni Buddha, his formula, like one of the minister of the the gold turning wheel king, right? He the one who encouraged the king as well 1,000 sons, as well as all the people in the human, as well as all the heavenly being in the desire realm, as well as the form realm, as well as the spirit, to offer the 3 month offering to the Buddha and the Sangha, right, during that time, and using that blessing instead of seek for the blessing of human and heaven, right, of God. Instead of seek for that blessing, using that blessing to go for generate the bodhicitta. and pursue the Buddhahood instead of the blessing of human and God. It's important. And he the one who be able to encourage them, and therefore each one of them he go to the Buddha and kneel down and make the vow how to practice the bodhisattva. That means we call the body. That means they have the body mind, and from the body mind they be able to have the firm determination, and they go forward with the body vow. We call the bodhisattva vow, and that means each one of them have his own vow, and to practice the bodhisattva to fulfill all that vow. After they fulfill all the vow, it take a long time through the practice of the 6 parameter, right? And they will attain the Buddhahood in the future. So let the bodhicitta mind is so important that like in the form, right? The forming field, you have a lot of good soil, right? If you don't have a good soil, whatever the seed that you grow in, either good seed or bad seed, do you think those seeds will become healthy in the future?
No.
Not at all. So the bodhicitta mind it is like the rich soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the mind that wishing good for other. That mindset is so important. It's just like it make the soil of the field become very rich. All the bad seed we have in the past due to our offensive bad karma we pray in the past, right? Eventually, we will be able to turn those bad seed into the good seed. When I talking about the seed, that means it's not already the cost. The cost that means we already pray, right? We cannot change. But the seed, it's just we plant the seed, but it's not go into the cost. You know the difference between the cost and the seed.
Yeah, so like when we're having a return of karma, where there could be an event where, because we have, say, seed of anger with a particular person, maybe we have an affinity with that person, where in a past life we had a lot of anger or resentment, and then the cause could be something that person does in a current life, and then that seed could be part of the condition that then leads to the effect. So maybe we could say the seeds were elements of the condition.
Ignorant, right? Arrogant, doubt, right? Doubtfulness, wrong view, yeah. Or jealousy, selfishness, right? Selfish, well, so and so, right? Opposite is the good seed, right? For example, good seed, we have the mind of giving, right? That means it will eliminate the greed. We have love and kindness, kindness, it eliminates the hatred, right? Compassion, right? Ignorant, that means we have the seed of wisdom, right? this wisdom will be able to eliminate the ignorance and the doubtfulness and also the wrong view as well. We have the seed of instead of jealousy, we rejoice, right? Rejoice for
Mhm.
whatever other people have a good virtue, right? We should rejoice their good virtue instead of jealousy. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Um, uh, this is attachment or wrapping. We detach, right? Or we let go, right? Let go of attachment. Okay. Now, if the person who have read right, and when they see someone drop the money on the street, right, they will pick it up without return, even though they know that person, but they do not return. And they have the mind of stealing or getting that thing and keep it for themselves. When they keep it for themselves, right, because it comes from the mind, this will create the karma, the bad karma, right? Bad karma uh, for due to the stealing, right? This will become the bad cause. Does it make sense?
Mhm.
But if we see someone, let's say you see someone, the homeless, and or you see someone that who in need help, you willing to help by any means because you love to do the giving. You give money, you give material, you give your love and kindness. This will become the good cause of that giving. Does it make sense?
Mhm.
So the cause, the seed will support for the cause due to the condition that we see. It will trigger the seed to become the cause. Clear? Very clear, right?
Mhm.
So now go back to the when we have the mind of bodhicitta, just like you have the you want to turn your bad soil into the good soil, right?
Mhm.
And in order to make sure your soil always good, you need to water it, right? And you need to have the water it, which means that you need to learn the Dharma. And you need to listen to the Dharma and respect the Dharma. That's how you water your soil. And all the bad seed like this, right? Eventually, we will turn into good seed. During the transformation of bad seed into good seed, sometimes we pray good cause. That's what we call pray good deeds, right?
Mhm.
So then, who are the one help us to be able to turn the bad seed into the good seed or turn into the good cause?
Good knowing advisors,
Mhm.
bodhisattvas,
Mhm.
Buddhas, in really any living being,
But
if we
the root, the good
have
root of that help us, the main root, the main thing that help us to turn all this thing into it.
bodhicitta.
I know bodhicitta is the mind, right? But which one will help the bodhicitta to be able to turn all the bad seed into the good seed?
Patience.
Well, living being,
Mhm.
right? The living being. The bodhisattva look at the living being at the blessing field. Bodhisattva. Look at the living being at there. Okay, hold on. At their blessing field. But the common people look at the living being at the debt collector, at the troublemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will turn the good seed into the bad seed. That is the opposite of the bodhicitta, right? So the living being is very important to help us to have the good seed. Even though we have the good soil, but if we don't keep the watering, the soil will not be good, right? And but the soil by itself is not really automatically to turn the bad seed into good seed. We need to do something. Just like beside the soil, you need watering, you need sunlight, you need the people to take care as well, right? So basically, the living being is the one that help us to turn the bad seed into the good seed. So that's why we should always have the gratitude to the living being. To the living being. Instead of that's why when we if we encounter any negative affinity, instead of we react, we should be patient. We act with patience. We don't react. The person who react, they have no patience. But the third person who act, they do have patience. That patience is important. And that's how we be able to turn the bad seed into the good seed. And at the end, all the things we accomplish, love and kindness, compassion, wisdom, all those things come from who? Come from the living being. Patience, the morality, all those things come from where? Come from the living being. All the dharma we will be able to attain come from who? Living being. Without them, there is no bodhisattva path. Right? Bodhisattva path is only for the living being. That is opposite of the Arhat and the Pasika Buddha. Arhat and Pasika Buddha see the living being as a delusion, not real. And they look at this world as a suffering. And they are really afraid. They want to enter the nirvana as soon as possible, and they don't want to stay here any longer. If they have a chance to go in, they go in. I remember the first council. You know what a council mean in Buddhism?
You said the first what?
Council.
Oh, the first council. Yeah.
What did first council mean?
What did it mean? Weren't they were let me see. The first council, because I know there was a meeting after the Buddha entered nirvana and there was some debate over what was going to happen with the relics, but I have a sense that wasn't the first council.
No, not
First
the
council,
first
was that when they
council.
started writing stuff down?
Okay, you know who were the host of the first council?
No.
Mm.
Is it a king? Maybe.
No.
No?
He only Arhat,
I don't know.
Kassapa.
Okay.
He the one of the most important Buddha disciple. who can-
Mahakasyapa, right? Because there's Kasyapa and Mahakasyapa.
yeah, Mahakassapa, that's right. Mahakassapa, that's right. You know who his practice? You know his practice about?
Yes, yeah. So the Buddha gave him this gave him a flower.
Yeah,
And
the Brahman flower, right?
yeah, and it was symbolic of this mind to mind seal that
Yeah. Uh-huh.
would be the hallmark of what's now
No,
called.
actually, it not give him the flower. The Brahman went to the Buddha and offered the Buddha the Brahman flower, and he using that flower. He raised he raised his hand with the flower, and all the assembly of the Buddha at that time, it's astounding. They were surprised. They don't know what that meaning is. But Ma Kassapa, he smiled. And at that moment, the Buddha said that all the tracer of the Dharma, of my tracer, is transmitted to Mahakassapa. That's why he became the first patriarch of the Zen tradition. And now he's still in in one of the mountain in the cave, right? To
Oh, yeah.
waiting for the Maitreya, future
Mhm.
Buddha, to appear in this world to hand over the Buddha, the Sakyamuni Buddha wrote and both, right?
Mhm.
Mm. Okay, so basically he the one who after the Buddha passed away, I think maybe 3 months after that, and because the reason is why he do this on the way home, right? To on the way to go, come and see the Buddha, but before the Buddha enter into the nirvana, um, he heard that the Buddha already passed away, and one of the monk follow him, and he said that, oh, you know what, Gautama Buddha. He just he entered nirvana. That means now we are free. We can do whatever we want. And and it's awakened the Maha Kassapa said that Buddha just entered the nirvana and this monk is already behave this way. And
Yeah.
he afraid that the Buddha teaching it will be altered and also come to extinction very quick. And that's why he got all 500 arhat to reveal the Dharma and to reveal the Vinaya, that means the rule, the law, the precept. At that time, the Ananda is not yet become Arhat yet, and here inside the cave, he blocked that only Arhat can be able to go in using their power to go through the cave, and Ananda cannot go into it. And you know what? He practiced diligently 3 days. Right, the third day on the way during the night when he about to his body about to fall into a lie down and to sleep. At that moment, he enlightened, and he came to the cave and said that he already enlightened. He want to go in, and Kassapa said, "Oh yeah, if you already enlightened, yeah, you can use your power to go through the gate." And he did. So and Ananda is the one that all the monks, all the Arhat promote Ananda, Venerable Ananda to speak about the Dharma because he have a very good memory. And after he speak the Dharma, all the Dharma from the Buddha teaching, and they approve. And Upali, right? Venerable Upali is the one who speak all the Vinaya. So all the monk, all the Arahat approve for his saying. I remember during that time when the Venerable Maha Kassapa announced to every Arahat, even the one in the heaven, right? They are gathering them to make sure all of them come over to attend this assembly and to do the council for this. And they, one of the Arhat in the heaven, he said that now his teacher already entered into the Nirvana. That means I think it's Venerable Sariputta or Maganlana is his teacher. And that's why he said that because my teacher already gone, I will gone too. That's why he said that he's not going to attend this first council. And what I'm trying to say here is, you see, even though only a moment to stay here to make sure that protect the Dharma for the future generation, but they want to go as soon as possible.
Mm.
Does it make sense? The
Mhm.
bodhicitta is not easy to have, right? Wait, the kids they playing now. Okay. All right. So that's why so let me summarize what we just learned today. The bodhicitta is just like the rich soil, right? In the form, in the forming field. And we need to water it so the soil become more richer and richer, right? The water come from where? The Buddha teaching, the Dharma, right? We need to listen to the Dharma. We need to learn the Dharma, and that help us to maintain our bodhicitta. In order to transform the bad seed into good seed, and what are the good cause for us to do the to transform those seeds, the living being. Yeah. So the living being is to the bodhisattva that their blessing field. But to the common people, if the one who cause us trouble, we look at them just like the debt collector. Yeah.
Mhm.
So any kind of negative affinity, that is a good opportunity for us to practice love and kindness and compassion. That's why it will help us to transform the bad seed into the good seed. Thank to them. They are the the one that we owe them the gratitude instead of think them as the debt collector. You see, two different view, they're opposite, right?
Mhm.
Now you have any question so far? So learning this chapter 17 is very much in this way. But why? So that means even though we help many people up to the Patika Buddha, but because they are the one that are the Buddha teaching to be able to stay in this world. Who will do that? Who will help to maintain the Buddha teaching to last long in this world?
bodhisattvas, people who are driven by compassion.
Yeah, not Arahat or Patika Buddha.
Mhm.
Mm. But doesn't mean that we look down on them, we fully respect them because they are the one who enlightened, we are not. Right? But in the other way, it's the inspiration for us to practice love and kindness is the Mahayana teaching. It's important. It relates to the bodhicitta, right? Okay, all right. So let's stop right here. Next week we'll move on to the chapter 18. Chapter 18 they not yet translated, but I will use in different book for that.
Okay, nice.
Okay, let's finish this. Okay.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Hmm. Good. Thank you very much. We'll see
Thank
you.
you, Ty.
tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be able to get